And because I feel like it's very easy to just be like, oh, he was a bad guy, he messed around. But you know, I'm a firm believer in nobody should be judged as a person based on like their worst deed or their worst thing. And then especially when it comes to mental health and mental illness, I've always sworn by the statement that it's not your fault, but it is your responsibility.
Yes.
And I hope that people can see that in him and walk away being like, oh, he made wonderful contributions to this music.
Yes.
And was a flawed individual. And
yes,
Carole has only spoken kindly of him.
Yes.
Which I think helps inform that too.
You know, it's a real balance that your character has to play. You know, the musical brilliance, and then, as you just mentioned, the complex emotional things that you're going through. Is that hard to turn on a dime? So, you know, some of the scenes you actually just turn quickly, you know?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it is just like playing in rehearsal of like, how do I find myself in this emotional state, and what's my inner monologue, and how things are shifting and stuff. So it's been fun to play of just like abruptly shifting motivations or abruptly shifting my view on a situation. I think it comes across as you know, that like bipolar side of being able to like switch back and forth.
Yes. You know, when I interviewed Tess Jonas, who plays Carole King, she's phenomenal. She had so many wonderful things to say about you. You know? But when your chemistry between the two of you is off the charts. I mean, it's just so good. Is it hard to, when it's such a complex relationship you had, you know, your songwriting partners, you're married, but you have this, you know, wandering side to you. Is it hard to keep that connection with her when your character strays a bit on his own?
I don't think it's difficult. I think it informs the relationship more so. And I just like pinch myself. I'm so lucky to work with Tess. Like, you know, it's a gamble with when you're casting a show and you have a substantial relationship with another actor in the show. It's like, oh, well, who knows how this is going to work out.
Yes.
She's a brilliant scene partner, and it's been so nice. And it's just very professional, and I think we both work in similar ways.
Right. That
has made it just all the much more enjoyable and I think successful too. It's like,
is there anything that the two of you do backstage before the show, like any superstitions or anything, or how you look at each other?
Yeah. We just always check in with each other before curtain comes up. Just be like, hey, how you doing and stuff, and then it's just like hey, I'll see you out there, and that's about it. But
yes.
Just making sure we're on the same page and ready to do the show.
Yeah. Why do you think the songs of Carole King and Gerry Goffin wrote still resonate with people of all ages? I mean, you know, a lot of this music is from the early 70s, but it's still, you know, it still hits you, you know, with such impact.
Yeah. I mean, one, there's just like the breadth of work to pull from, and it has that staying power, certainly. I find, especially with Gerry's lyrics, everything is, and it's a line in the show that everything is, it's so much feeling, but put so simply.
Yeah.
I feel the biggest part of his writing is that everybody can see themselves in the lyrics.
Yes.
I think that everything is extremely relatable.
Right.
Regardless of who you are, where you're from, what your life situation is. And that resonates with people and gives those songs that staying power.
Right.
And it doesn't hurt that it's got a great melody going with it.
Oh, yes. You know, your character, tremendous songwriter. I mean, the hits were unbelievable for you guys and, you know, for all these groups. But there was something deep about Gerry. In other words, he could write not just songs, but he could write books, he could write plays, and I think in some ways he was frustrated. He wanted to do something more than, as he says, a 3-minute song.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when Gerry and Carole met, he was originally in real life was writing a musical and wanted her to write the music for his musical.
Right. And they met at Queens College.
They did. Yeah.
And I'm a graduate of Queens College. So
no way.
It hits home for me.
Yeah.
But where did you grow up?
I grew up in Nelson County, Virginia. It's a very rural Appalachian town, hard to find on a map, and
Right.
usually people don't know where it is. I say it's closest, it's in between Lynchburg and Charlottesville.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. And when did you find that passion for theater?
Kind of later in life. I didn't know that it was something you could go to college for until later in my high school career, and fortunately was fostered very well in high school to pursue
Right.
pursue that, because I wasn't planning on necessarily going to college or anything like that, and was very fortunate to get into a good school and
Yeah.
and just been, dove in head first ever since then. But like junior year of high school is when I
Okay.
like really got into it.
And when did you come to New York?
Pretty much right after school. I done a couple national tours and stuff that were right after that. So I say that I've been in New York for like almost 9 years now, but partially a lot of them I was away. But but the first moving was pretty much right out of college.
Did you find like it was difficult at first? You're coming from more of a small town, and then you're coming into the hustle bustle of the city and fast pace, and people talk fast. Did you have to make an adjustment?
I was certainly an adjustment, but it was more something that I was seeking out in the first place. I think it's funny because now that I'm getting older, I very much want to go back. Hey, I'm getting up there. But I'm kind of reverting back to my roots of wanting to be in a more like rural and slow place. But that being said, like growing up, everything was about where can I get to where the action is.
Right, right.
Got nothing going on out here.
That's nice.
Yeah.
So as a Marty's Corner fan, there's going to be a baseball reference.
Fantastic.
Right? So you're going to stay with me on this.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So in the entertainment field and in baseball, you have people that are brilliant performers. And I want to give you an example in baseball.
Okay.
Dwight Doc Gooden, who was a pitcher for the New York Mets, he was an absolute phenom. Made it to the top of the mountaintop, but personal demons off the field curtailed a Hall of Fame career.
Yeah.
I'll put it that way. I can relate that to your character in that brilliant songwriter, brilliant team with Carole King, and you were at the top of the mountaintop. I mean, you wrote songs for everybody, the Drifters, the Shirelles,
The Frank. Yeah.
the Righteous Brothers.
Yeah.
And then your personal demons, or your character's personal demons, got a hold of you. And you touched on it earlier, about mental health and everything. Could you feel for him as you portray him? Could you feel what he must have been going through when he, is at the top of the mountaintop, and then he caused so much pain for Carole King, the one he loved? Could you feel for what it must have been like for him?
I certainly cannot feel it in the same way, and I wouldn't claim to know what that is entirely like. The best I can do is play it how I interpret it. But it's that empathy that I'm looking for in the performance, and is what I see in his life as well.
Yes.
It's a very tough and nuanced situation. It's like you can't help but feel bad for him in some ways, and then in some ways you can feel like you can't help but kind of hate him too.
Right,
it's like,
right.
Why would you throw something away like this? Or,
right. But the show's not written with him as a villain.
No.
Not at all. And I think the audience, has these dual feelings. They like you, but they're mad at you. Because of what you did. And can you feel that from? The performance?
Certainly.
Certainly. Some nights are worse than
Yeah,
others.
with a more vocal audience. We had a pretty vocal one today. I sometimes just an entrance, and then you just hear, "Oh,
yes,
Gerry."
yes, I was audible today.
Yeah, it was certainly.
So we mentioned earlier, all the songs that you wrote for these great groups, and it's what's so cool in this show is, you sing it with, with Tess, playing Carole King, and you'll sing, these songs that we all know, and then all of a sudden the Shirelles are singing it, the Drifters are singing it, and like, wow, it was great when you did it, and it's great how we remember it, from the radio and everything. But would you give the fans just a little small sample of, one of the songs that you wrote for the group, just to give them a little feeling what it's like.
A little on the roof, but unfortunately the Drifters won't be coming in to back
and I can't be a background drifter,
Sure. When this old world starts getting me down, and people are just too much for me to face, I climb way up to the top of the stairs, and all my cares just drift right into space. On the roof, it's peaceful as can be, and there the world below can't bother me.
Wow, I was great.
Thank you.
I love that. That's great. If you want to come out and see Lukas really, really portray Gerry Goffin big time, and the rest of this super talented cast, then come on out and see Beautiful. We're playing Wednesday through Sunday, straight through to August 30th, and we can't wait to see you at the Argyle Theater.
Woo.